Started like fireworks, bright, loud, impossible to ignore. Sparks flying high against a sky that promised more. You held my hand like it was the only thing keeping you here. Whispered always in the dark, like it was gospel, like it was clear. But always has a half-life, it decays slow and sweet, turns promises to ash while we're still on our feet. I felt the shift before I named it, the way your touch grew light, like you were already practicing how to say goodnight. I didn't see the credits rolling, didn't hear the music fade, just woke up one morning inside the ending we made. We became ending, not with a fight or a fall, just the quiet unraveling of it all. No final scene kiss, no dramatic rain, just two people learning how to live with the pain of what used to be us, now reduced to us. We became endings, soft, slow, because love doesn't always crash. Sometimes it just drifts away, becomes memory before we even know what to say. We became ending, and I'm still here, trying to breathe through the space you used to fill. Your toothbrush vanished first, then the books you left behind. Small absences that grew until the whole room felt resigned. I kept your favorite book on the shelf, couldn't wash away the stain. Thought if I left it untouched, maybe you would come back again. The days turned to weeks, weeks blurred into gray, and the house stopped waiting for the sound of your key in the tray. I still sleep on my side, leave your pillow fluffed and neat, like some part of me believes you'll walk back in from the street. I replay every moment, looking for the exact turn, the second we cross from beginning to end. We became ending, not with a fight or a fall, just the quiet unraveling of it all. No final scene kiss, no dramatic rain, just two people learning how to live with the pain of what used to be us, now reduced to us. We became endings, soft, slow, because love doesn't always crash. Sometimes it just drifts away, becomes memory before we even know what to say. We became ending, and I'm still here, trying to breathe through the space you used to fill. Maybe endings aren't supposed to feel this gentle, this kind. Maybe they're meant to hurt sharp, so healing can fight away and faster, a way to stretch the tear. But ours was quiet, like snowfall on a year we thought would last forever. I don't hate you for fading, don't curse the slow goodbye. I just miss the version of us that didn't know how to die. We became ending, and somehow that's the truest thing we ever were. We became ending, soft close of a book, pages turned down. We used to look. No villain, no hero, no blame to assign. Just two hearts that loved hard, then learned how to resign. We became ending, no fireworks left to light, just a hearse of acceptance settling in for the night. We became ending, and I'm learning to let the credits roll without fighting. The dark became ending, and still I love what we were. The clock on the wall stopped at 11:47 that night, but time kept moving forward, cool, relentless, bright. I still find your hair in the drain, strands long and dark, like evidence the past refused to disembark. I sweep them into my palm, hold them like fragile thread, afraid if I let go, the last piece of you is dead. The wound you left isn't scabbed, it weeps fresh every day. A slow, quiet hemorrhage that won't clot, won't obey. I bandage it with routine, with coffee, with sleep, but the blood seeps through anyway, crimson deep. Bleeding past, it drips down my sleeve when no one's looking, stains the pages of books I pretend I'm reading. Every memory a fresh cut, every remember when a blade. I'm walking around leaking the love we couldn't save. Bleeding past, God, it won't let me heal. Keeps reopening the places I thought were sealed. I'm tired of the red on the floor, the taste of iron on my tongue. But the past keeps bleeding, and I'm still young. Sleeves in summer, high betrayals on my wrist, not from lasers, from the ghost of your lips. The way you said forever still slices clean through bone, leaves a lie that pulses every time I'm alone. I try to cauterize it with new faces, new nights, but the heat only made the bleeding ignite. Now the sheets have spotted the synchron's pink. Every morning a reminder I'm on the brink. I tell the mirror I'm fine, that the flow is slow, but the reflection just watches the red rivers grow. Bleeding dust, it drapes down my sleeve when no one's looking, stains the pages of books I pretend I'm reading. Every memory a fresh coat, every remember when it played. I'm walking around leaking the love we couldn't say. keeps bleeding, and I'm still young. Maybe one day to flow within to a trickle then dry. The skies will silver over under indifferent sky. I'll stop tasting copper when I say your name out loud. Stop checking for blood when I laugh in a crowd. But until then I carry this so steady drain, a private transfusion of joy into pain. Bleeding past, it's I have less to prove that what we had was real, even if it only proves how deeply I could lose, leaving past, slowing out but never quite gone. A quiet red thread that keeps stitching me on. I don't fight the truth anymore. I let it fall where it may, because stopping the bleed would mean stopping yesterday. Bleeding past, and maybe that's the cost of loving someone completely. Some wounds aren't lost. Bleeding past, still here, still bleeding, still mine. Bleeding past, still alive. Bleeding past. The room is cold for a moment when the sun cut through the blinds. You stood there haloed, packing shadows into lines. I watched the dust dance slow around your moving hands. Each particle a memory slipping through like sand. You didn't look at me, just folded shirts with care, as if the ritual could keep the ending from the air. I stayed rooted by the bed, throat thick with unsaid pleas, while the light kept shrinking, taking pieces off of me. I thought if I stayed still, the sun might change its mind, hold the day a little longer, give us extra time. As light fading slow across the floor we used to dance, stealing every color from the second chance. You carried it away with you when you closed the door behind, left me in the twilight with the love we couldn't find. Last light, you didn't fight to stay, just slip beneath the horizon, took the warmth and walked away. Last light, and now the dark knows my name, whispers it gentle while I'm learning how to remain. The lamp I switched on after felt too yellow, too bright. A poor replacement for the sun that left without a fight. If footsteps echoed once down the hallway, then we're gone, replaced by the hum of the fridge and the ticking of the dawn. I sit where you sat last, trace the dent you left behind, feel the cold and love is still holding your outline. The windows turned to mirrors now reflecting empty space. recognize, staring back at my own face. I keep the curtains open, even though the night is deep. Hoping some stray moonbeam might sneak in while I sleep. Last night, fading slow across the floor we used to dance, stealing every color from the second chance. You carried it away with you when you closed the door behind. Left me in the twilight with the love we couldn't find. Last night, you didn't fight to stay, just looked beneath the horizon, took the warmth and walked away. Last night, and now the dark knows my name, whispers of gentle while I'm learning how to remain. Maybe tomorrow the sun will rise a little kinder, paint the walls in softer hues, and like me, I'm a survivor. But tonight I let the shadows wrap around me tight. Let them hold what's left of us in the absence of the light. No screaming, no begging, just a quiet turn of earth, carrying you farther while I measure what it's worth. Last night, you took it with you, and I'm still here, waiting for whatever comes after. Gone. I watched you disappear around the corner of the street. Your coat caught the wind and you were out of reach. I stood frozen on the sidewalk, breath caught in my throat, hoping you would pause, turn, give me one more note. But the light changed green, the cars rolled on ahead, and your silhouette shrank until the crowd swallowed red. I waited for the glance over your shoulder, the small goodbye, the one last look that might have kept me from asking why. I counted the seconds, then the minutes, then the rain, still staring at the empty space where you used to remain. Let's look back, you never get it to me. Just walked into tomorrow, left the past to bleed. No final frame, no lingering eye, no mercy in a moment you decided to fly. Let's look back, it's the thing I replay most, the silence of you leaving, the thing that hurts the most. I stand here still, eyes fixed on that bend in the road, waiting for a turn that never showed. Let's look back, and you are gone. Now every corner I turn, I half expect to see your profile in the distance looking back at me. I catch strangers' glances, search for that familiar spark, but it's always someone else, always too far in the dark. I keep the memory sharp, replay it frame by frame, the way your shoulders squared, the way you never came back around to meet my eyes one final honest time, to give me something solid to carry through the climb. I tell myself it wouldn't change the ending anyway, but the heart keeps begging for the once more delay. Let's look back, you never gave it to me. Just walked into tomorrow, left the past to bleed. No final frame, no lingering eye, no mercy in the moment you decided to fly. Let's look back, it's second where our eyes could meet across the space. One moment to acknowledge what we lost in place. But you kept walking, and I kept watching till the rain blurred the line. Let's look back, let's look back, let's look back. You left in the middle of an ordinary Tuesday. No suitcase, drama, no storm, just a quiet way. You slipped out while I was making tea in the kitchen. Door closed soft behind you like it was already written. I didn't hear the key turn, didn't catch the last breath, just found the hallway empty. Your coat gone from the hook by the steps. I stood there holding the mug, steam rising slow, waiting for the sound of your footsteps to echo back. But no, I replay the morning like film stuck on a frame, searching for the moment I could have called your name. Missed goodbye, it hangs in the air like smoke that won't clear. The silence so loud it still rings in my ear. No final words, no last look, no hand on the frame, just the sudden absence that swallowed your name. Missed goodbye, the cruelest kind, even no closure to hold, no letter to send. I whisper I love you to the space where you stood, but the echo comes back empty, misunderstood. Your phone still rings to voicemail after 3. I leave messages anyway, stupid small, it's me. I walk past the cafe where we always sat by the window, order your usual black, watch it cool on the table below. The chair opposite stays empty, the napkin unfolded. I folded neat like you would have, then unfolded again. Every routine we shared now feels like rehearsal for loss, a dress rehearsal that ended before the curtain could cross. I keep expecting a text that says I'm coming home, but the screen stays dark and I'm still alone. This goodbye, it hangs in the air like smoke that won't clear. A silence so loud it still rings in my ear. No final words, no last look, no hand on the frame, just the sudden absence that swallowed your name. Missed goodbye, the cruelest kind of end, no closure to hold, no letter to send. I whisper I love you to the space where you stood, but the echo comes back empty, misunderstood. Maybe you thought goodbye would hurt too much to say, so you chose the quiet exit, slipped out anyway. Maybe you were already gone before the sun came up, and I was just the last one to notice the cup had run dry. I don't hate you for leaving without the scene, I just wish I had one moment to say what I mean, one breath to tell you stay, I'm scared I'm yours. But the door closed soft and the goodbye was never ours. Missed goodbye lives in every quiet room, in the way the light falls, where your shadow used to bloom. No screaming match, no tears on the floor, just the gentle, brutal truth. You don't come back anymore. The words sat heavy on my tongue for months. Tasted like iron, like rain before the storm fronts. I watched you pack your half of the life we built, and every time I open my mouth, the silence won't guilt. I love you more than breathing. I wanted to scream, but pride built a wall and turned it to dream. You waited for something, anything, to make you stay, but all I gave you was the echo of goodbye anyway. I thought tomorrow would fix what today broke, that unspoken love was safer than the words I choked. Never said I needed you like air in my lungs. Never said your name was the only song I sung. Never said the nights without you felt like drowning slow. Never said don't go, just watch you grow. Never said the truth that might have changed the end. Never said stay forever. Let silence lead, my friend. Now the house is quiet, the walls remember your face, and I'm left with the things I never said, in this empty space. Your coat still hangs by the door like it's waiting to. The sleeves remember your arms the way they used to hold through. I practiced the sentences alone in the mirror. At night I was wrong, I'm sorry, come back to the light. But the mirror just stares back, cold and unmoved, tells me the moment is past, the chance removed. I scroll through old messages, search for a sight I missed, find nothing but proof that I never risked. I thought holding back would keep me from the fall, but the fall came anyway, and I lost it all. Never said I needed you like air in my lungs. Never said your name was the only song I sung. Never said the nights without you felt like drowning slow. Never said don't go, just watch you go. Never said the truth that night have changed the end. Never said stay forever. Let silence be my friend. Now the house is quiet, the walls remember your face, and I'm left with the things I never said, never said. Now it's too late for the words to matter. It's too late for the words to matter. I cleared the left side of the drawer last week, folded your old t-shirt, the one you slept in every night you'd sneak. It still smells faintly like rain and your skin after the storm. I keep it there anyway, a quiet, stubborn form of holding space for someone who isn't coming home. The pillow on your side stays fluffed, never touched. Alone, I smooth the sheets like ritual, like prayer without the sound. Hoping if I leave it perfect, somehow you'll be found. I don't know if it's foolish or the only honest thing I've done, but I can't feel the hollow where your heartbeat used to run. There's still a place for you, right here in the quiet, in the corner of the couch, and the way the light hits at twilight. A chair that stays empty, a song on repeat, a half-written letter I'll never complete. There's still a place for you, even after the goodbye, even when the days learn how to crawl by. I don't wait for a turn, don't beg for the past. I just keep the space open in case love comes back at last. The coffee mug you always chose sits next to mine at dawn. I pour 2 cups sometimes, watch the steam drift on. One grows cold untouched, the other I drink slow, tasting the absence like sugar that won't dissolve. Your books line the shelf in the order you left them last. Pages dogged where we laughed, where we talked too fast. I don't move them an inch, they're markers of a map to a version of us that time couldn't snap. It's not about clinging, it's not about change, it's just refusing to let the heart erase your line. There's still a place for you, right here in the quiet, in the corner of the couch, in the way the light hits at twilight. A chair that stays empty, a song on repeat, a half-written letter I'll never complete. There's still a place for you, even after the goodbye, even when the days learn how to crawl by. I don't wait for a turn, don't beg for the past. I just keep the space open, and his love comes back at last. Maybe one morning I'll fold the blanket, stack the mug away, close the drawer gentle, let the sunlight have its say. Maybe the face will shrink till it's just a tiny scar, a small reserved corner underneath whoever we are. But until then, I honor what was true by leaving room for the ghost of me and you. Not out of hope, but out of grace, for the love that once lived here in this empty space. There's still a place for you, small and soft and still, not long lived with expectation, just a place that feels real. I breathe in the quiet, let the emptiness stay, because some lungs don't leave, they simply change shape and name. There's still a place for you, and maybe that's enough for now. A place for you. You said it's soft, like it wouldn't leave a mark. I'm fine, you whispered while the room grew dark. I don't need you, slipped out between your teeth. Casual as breathing, sharp as winter beneath. I smiled through the sting, told myself it was late. The tired hearts say things they don't really mean to stay. But words aren't weightless, they sink in slow. Carved thin red lines where only I know. I traced them later in the mirror at dawn. Raised in angry, refusing to be gone. Scars, your words left, they don't fade like the rest. They bloom in the quiet when I try to forget. Every maybe someday became a thin white line. Every you're too much, etched deeper with time. Scars your words, they itch when it rains. Remind me of nights I swallowed the pain. I'll cover them up, wear long sleeves and a snow. But underneath, your sentences still run for miles. I'll call tomorrow, turned into weeks of blue. Each missed ringtone, another cut running through. You deserve better, the kindest blade. You swung clean and surgical, left me bleeding young. I keep the messages archived, can't hit delete. Read them like evidence of what love couldn't be. They live under skin now, raised when I'm cold. A private collection of stories never told. I thought time would send them smooth, make them small. But some hurt just to learn how to stand tall. Scars your words left, they don't fade like the rest. They bloom in the quiet when I try to forget. Every maybe someday came a thin white line. Every oh too much etched deeper with it true that I opened wide enough to let someone through. Their maps of where I broke, where I tried to stay, where your voice became the wound that wouldn't go away. I touch them sometimes when that house is too still. Let the raised edges remind me I'm real. Not perfect, not whole, but still here, still breathing. Carrying your words like a tattoo, I'm not leaving. Scars your words left, they're part of me now. Tired companions when the world gets too loud. I don't hate them forever, don't pretend they're not there. Just let them be proof that I once learned to care. Scars your words, still here, still mine. closed by morning, felt the redwood dry. But the clock keeps ticking over and the wound won't say goodbye. I wrap it in distractions, work, laughter, crowded rooms. Yet every quiet moment peels the bandage back too soon. Your name still tastes metallic when it slips across my lips. A fresh drop every time I almost say it in my sleep. I tell myself it's healing, that the scar will silver soon. But the mirror shows the same bright stain beneath the moon. I press my hand against it hard, try to stop the flow, but pressure only makes it spread when no one else can. Still bleeding after all this time, the heart keeps leaking. What was yours and mine? Every breath pulls the edges wider, lets more color through. A slow, relentless river running red for you. Still bleeding. God, I thought I'd be done, thought the ache would fade beneath a different sun. But the past keeps tearing stitches, keeps the crimson alive. Still bleeding, and I'm barely surviving. I walk these streets at dusk when the city starts to dim, and every stranger's silhouette reminds me where you've been. I catch my reflection in a window, pale and leaking slow. Eyes that used to shine for you now dull with overflow. I've tried to cauterize you with new hands, new nights, new lies, but the heat just makes it hiss and my bleeding multiply. The sheets are stained with memories I can't wash away. Every fold holds a ghost of the words you didn't stay to say. I pretend it's only surface, that the deep part's gone to sleep. But the pulse beneath the bandage proves the hurt runs deep. Still bleeding after all this time, the heart keeps leaking. What was yours and mine? Every breath pulls the edges wider, lets more color through. A slow, relentless river running red for you. Still bleeding. God, I thought I'd be done, thought the ache would fade beneath a different sun. But the past keeps tearing stitches, keeps the crimson alive. Still bleeding, and I'm barely surviving. Maybe some blows are meant to clot, are meant to scar and fade. Maybe they're supposed to keep us hoping, keep the raw displayed. I don't fight the drip anymore, I let it fall where it lands. A quiet testament that what we had still stands. Still bleeding, not because I'm weak, but because the love was real enough to speak. Through every layer I try to close, through every bandage, every dose. Still bleeding, maybe that's the proof. I love you completely, even when it costs the truth. Still bleeding, softer now but never quite stopped. The quiet red reminder of the promises that dropped. I carry it careful like a flame that won't go out, a living, breathing echo of what love's about. Still bleeding, and I'm learning to let it be. Not a wound to hide, just the last part of you. Still in me, still bleeding, still here, still yours and red. I used to keep it locked behind a ribcage door, told myself safe meant silent, meant never wanting more. But you walked in quiet, no key, no force, no fight. Just looked at the cracks and said they let in light. I handed it over like a fragile borrowed thing. Believed your hands knew how to hold without breaking. Now the space is empty where the beating used to live. A hollow echo asking what I still have left to give. I thought love was a gift you could return unopened, but hearts don't come with receipts when they're stolen. Wanted heart, stolen, the softest kind of crime. You took it without asking, left no trail, no sign. Now I'm walking these streets with a chest full of missing, searching every shadow for the pulse I'm dismissing. Wanted heart, God, I wish I could report it, file a claim for the rhythm you quietly aborted. Wanted heart, still beating somewhere in your keeping. While I'm here learning how to live with the weeping. I see couples holding hands and my fingers curled tight. Remember how yours stood perfectly wrong or right. I passed the cafe where we carved our names and steamed. The table's empty now, just like the space in between. I wear your absence like a coat too big for the frame. Sleeves dragging on the ground, whispering your name. Every heartbeat stutters like it's looking for its twin, for the one you carried off beneath your skin. I don't want it back in pieces, don't want the shard you left. I just wanna stop feeling like I'm living bereft. Wanted heart, stolen in the softest kind of crime. You took it without asking, left no trail, no sign. Now I'm walking these streets with a chest full of listen, searching every shadow for the pulse I'm dismissing. Wanted heart, God, I wish I could report it, file a claim for the rhythm you quietly aborted. Wanted heart, still beating somewhere in your keeping. While I'm here learning how to live with the weeping. If you ever feel it flutter when the room gets too still, know it's still calling home across the miles in the chill. I don't hate you for taking some loves are meant to roam, but a heart without its owner feels like a body without a home. I'm not asking for return, not begging for the beat, just wishing for a moment where the missing feels complete. Wanted heart, if you're listening, come back or let me go. Either way, stop the echo. Wanted heart, fading like a signal lost at sea. Still reaching for the shore that used to be you and me. I traced the outline of where it used to pound so loud. Now it's just a whisper underneath the crowd. Wanted heart, I'm tired of the hunt, tired of the hollow where the warmth used to front. Wanted heart, if you're never coming home, then teach me how to live with the alone.